Howdy, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Dirt Info Podcast. Hey, if you could real quick, just hit the like and or subscribe down there. It's greatly appreciated every time you do. And with that, let's jump into our first segment. And
It's called Stylin and Profile.
Thanks, Rick. I still love that. Yeah, Carter, let's have you fire off.
I got one shirt over the weekend while in Illinois. That's the front. The back's the same, so I'll show you that. I got a Fairbury, no race car on it, just a Fairbury shirt, like a simple one that I can wear anywhere. Granted, I'd wear one with a race car on it anywhere too. But
I'm just over here just shocked. It's not black.
it's the tan sand color, the only other color I
Okay.
buy.
The other acceptable Carter color. Anyway, I do want to mention real quick. So you've got a Justin Jefferson shirt on there, it looks
Yep.
like. All right, why are you wearing that?
We just had our fantasy football draft before recording.
We sure did. And according to the power rankings, you and I sucked it up.
Yeah. Well, they don't know what they're talking about though.
Hey, nope. My goal on ESPN is to have the worst power ranking to start this season. I feel like there's a correlation to how bad they think you're going to do and how good you do. So anyway, but yeah. So I have on. See,
There you go.
So this is a support your local dirt track shirt that I picked up from Bitchin' Fast. So I definitely have a lot of her stuff in the closet. But this is actually a picture of MTS as well. So this was the picture on the shirt is MTS during the Modified World Championship. So kind of a cool shirt. And actually, they have their last event this weekend. So they've got the North Star Nationals coming up Friday, Saturday, and they've got, I believe it's 2K mods both nights, and then they got B mods, hobby stocks,
Hornets, USRA late models.
Hornets, late models. Yep, no stocks. I misspoke on that though, but they got, and then eco mods, hobby stocks, Hornets. Yeah, so a whole bunch of stuff going. 2-day show to end out their season. So hey, support your local dirt track. If you're in the area, go check them out. That should be a heck of a show. But anyway, with that, so we both went racing.
Yep.
A rarer occurrence than I'd like it sometimes. But after a nearly month hiatus, I did go back to the track. So on Friday, I went and checked out. They have a longer name, but I went and checked out SLMR at Deer Creek. They're for their first inaugural annual visit to Minnesota. So that was pretty cool. Although, so I talked last week about possibly going to Grand Rapids or going to Deer Creek. And all the TikTok comments were definitely like, go to Deer Creek. And I was kind of leaning that way anyway. So I was a little bit of peer pressured into it, but I went to Deer Creek. We roll in. As I'm driving in, I'm like, there's a little bit of rain on the horizon. We pull in and it starts to rain as soon as we pull in. I'm like, you're kidding me. This is what I picked it in rained out. I immediately looked at the radar. I'm like, oh, Grand Rapids is perfectly fine. But not to be deterred, that wimpy little rain shower, it only lasted about 15, 20 minutes. It was not enough to even slow them down. Truthfully, the show started. It probably did. They just didn't have to water the track, but it started like on time. Like there was no delay in the show start time. It started at 6:30 as scheduled. So that was kind of neat. They didn't slow them down at all. It did throw a little bit of wrench in my plans because I wasn't going to go walk the pits in the rain, and I was going to let it dry out a little bit before I went down there. So the pit walk was a little abbreviated, but I did run into a gentleman by the name of Noah, who he kind of saw me trying to take a picture of Dallin Murdy's car. And he comes up, he's like, hey, I watch your shit. And he sticks his hand out, and I shook his hand. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And so his name was Noah. He's a crew guy for Dallin Murdy. So that was pretty cool. But I totally fumbled the bag. I didn't even think about stickers. Just completely. Sherry's got a satchel full of them, just fumbled the bag. We had a chance. We had a chance, is all I'm saying. of being on Murray's car. We had a chance, and I fumbled the bag, so I'm sorry about that, Carter. but
Try again,
but that was
whenever next time will be.
yeah. Next, and a whole year when they have their second inaugural. But anyway, but yeah, so that was kind of cool. I ran into Billy Steinberg in the pits. That's always a fun time. Billy is of Minnesota Dirt. So he has a YouTube channel, Minnesota Dirt, and he's also on Facebook. So I guess we got a pretty healthy shout out from him at Deer Creek, not this weekend, but the weekend past. I guess I don't remember the whole story, but I believe he was in an incident and someone shoved a mic in his face and he said his two pieces and then then he pimped us. So we need to go find that video. So I'm definitely looking forward to him getting that posted on the Minnesota Dirt YouTube channel. So when it
Yeah,
comes up, maybe we'll
I'll be checking that out. I did not know that.
yeah. So Billy's a good dude. Like I've mentioned him a bunch of times. I feel like anytime I head south, I run into him. He's always at whatever southern track I'm at. So including the Dome. The one time I went to the Dome, I said if you head south, you run into Billy, including the Dome. So he's a really cool dude. I guess he's mentioned us a few times in his videos, and I told him, I'm like, man, you know as well as anyone, Billy, once you start doing this and putting stuff out, you don't have time for anyone else's stuff. Like this is your free time now. So but he did mention us in a few of his videos, so we'll have to check those out, Carter. And we do want to mention, again, it's Minnesota Dirt on YouTube. They're good dudes. It's Billy and his brother Charlie. They're good dudes. Just check them out. Go support them. I know we don't have a ton of following, but if you're listening to this and you hear this, go give them a follow, please. So anyway, but after the pit walk, pretty much it was just right into racing. The racing was solid, if not quite as good as I had hoped. So Dylan Thornton ended up winning the SLMR feature, and he was gifted the pole position.
Like a redraw?
No, so after the redraw, Sorensen won the pole and was given the option of starting, I think, 6th or 8th or however many they redraw, although I think it was 6. And if he won, it wasn't even $1,000. It was like $800 or $900. I remember thinking it's not even $1,000. So it's like $800 or $900, not to sniff at it, not to just, I'm just saying it wasn't even a full extra grand on top. To start the far back, and if he wins, he gets the extra bonus in addition to the win money. Proved to be a fatal decision because Thornton started on the pole and led every lap and won kind of pretty easily. The crowd did get jacked whenever Jake Tim could kind of close the distance in traffic, although they didn't spend a lot of time in traffic, which was a bit of a bummer. I think if they could have spent more time, it could have been a much better race, but it was good for what it was. The mod feature was awesome. Jim Chisholm completely snookered Dustin Sorensen in traffic. So that one got to hang out in traffic, and it was just a couple laps left, 2 or 3 laps left, and he never showed himself. He was just closing the distance,
just right
but
there, never
right
showed
there,
that he was there.
Never really showed himself, and just played the patient game. And a lapper just kind of set a pick for him, and when it happened, he just powered around and went on to the win. And Sorensen, at that point, you could if you could, from the way the cars reacted, I would imagine Sorensen was like, "Oh shit, where did he come from?" Because it looked like he slammed on the gas going down. So yeah, it was a solid night of racing. It was pretty fun. I went to Jerome's penthouse after the race, otherwise known as the Jake Tim merch trailer. I don't have my chain, and they had a dance party out there. So they had a fog machine, lights, some lights blinking on the merch trailer. They had it looking like a whole DJ set. And Jerome put on a dance show. It wasn't even a party. It was just Jerome breaking down.
Just him dancing.
Yeah, he's a big fella, and I don't think the sight lines are great. So it was kind of just steer clear, because otherwise you might wear one. So But it was pretty fun. I left going, I'm pretty sure that was Jake Tim in that costume, so hats off to him. But I didn't want to verify I just want to believe that it was him getting down. But anyway, so it was a fun night. It was nice to be back at a racetrack. Just do want a quick mention. I went to the state fair. That was super fun. But I did get there. I got in there. I walked in the front gate. This is a true story. The first thought I had was Carter would hate this. Because it's just like you're on a hill and you can just see down. It's just a sea of people. And I was thinking of you like, I hate fair race.
But there's not a race there happening, is there?
I know, it's not. It was one of those first thoughts that just rang through my head of you going, I hate fair races. I'm
Did
like, oh,
you
you really hate this.
did you run into Justin Jefferson? I saw he was there.
I didn't. He didn't call me and tell me. So,
I I saw he was just there hanging out and like some random person was playing. You know the game where you like shoot the water at a target?
yeah.
So some kid was just playing it and he just happened to be going against Justin Jefferson, which I would have been freaking out as a 23-year-old.
Just shooting everywhere. I can see that. I probably do the same thing as a 40-year-old man. So I do want to also mention real quick, there's a young man by the name of Jacob who stopped and said very kind words to us. And so I just thought it was worth, hey Jacob, I appreciate you stopping and saying
At the
hello.
fair?
And no, this was
Oh,
sorry, this was at Deer Creek, but it reminded me of your story. Reminded me of this that he got up the gumption and stopped and said a word. So I just wanted to mention it again on
hello.
air. That yeah, appreciate you watching, buddy. So yeah, he got stickers though. I did. I learned from my mistakes. See, in life, you just you're gonna make mistakes. You gotta learn from them. I learned from it. This was later in the night, and I was like, stickers. She's like, "Pachow, stickers." So almost missed it, but we learned from it and we adjusted. So anyway, you went racing. Tell me all about it, buddy.
Yeah, well, Friday I was supposed to go to Red Cedar. They rained out around 1 o'clock or something. I don't remember the exact time. Thankfully, I didn't leave yet when they rained out. That would have sucked. So I just went to Gravity Park in Chilton. I usually only go there in April, but I felt like switching it up, so I went there for the championship night, and the racing was pretty good. Usually it's not amazing, but it was pretty good. So give them props there. And they had a good. It was like 94 cars. Yep.
Yeah. Didn't you go to their opener too?
Yeah, that's usually like the only race I'll go to is the opener because they
That's
open
kind of
up
cool.
before all the other Friday tracks.
That's kind of cool. You went to their season opener and you went to their championship night. Dang near your home track. No, I do think it's cool though that you went to those two shows. That's kind of neat.
Then obviously Saturday went down to Illinois. First up was Fairbury, which is my favorite track, so I was pretty hyped for that. They had 10,000 win mods and late models for Mars late models and mods, and well, we got there first and we got the brisket fries because that's a must every time I go there because they have like it's not the track that sells them, but like in Illinois they have like a bunch of food trucks and stuff, and one of them is always the brisket one, and those fries are so good. And then they also have a pizza stand there, also very good. That's usually get brisket fries when we get there, pizza around B main time. That's always what I do there. But there was so late model feature or no mod feature was first, the 10K to win mod feature. And Cole Falloway, who we've mentioned on the show before, he won that. And it was a pretty good race between him and Trent Young. With like there was a late restart if I remember right, and Trent Young tried a slider and there was a bit of contact. Um, but Falloway was able to kind of pull away and then not pull away like check out, but pull away enough where Trent Young couldn't try anything else with the last like 2 laps. And Falloway wasn't upset by the contact. It didn't seem. He was just like, "Hey, we're racing for 10 grand." I don't really blame him. I'm pretty sure he said so. And then,
Yeah. A couple
um,
of Kentucky guys throwing down.
yeah. And speaking of Trent Young, I just want to mention he took second at Fairbury, went to Eldora the next night, and also took seconds. So
Huh.
so close, but so far. And then after that was the late model feature, and that one was really good too. So Ashton Winger ended up winning, and if I remember right, he led. Oh no, he didn't lead. So Shirley took the lead instantly and led for like the first 30 or so laps, and then in traffic, Shirley tried to throw a slider on Spatola and not even close to making it. He just door slammed Spatola, and I don't know if that messed something up, but right after that, Winger caught right up, got by him. Fager eventually got by Shirley, and for the first time, I think I don't know maybe ever, Fairbury rubbered with like 10 to go, but it rubbered around the top, so you could still try a slider.
Yeah, you can still try
So
a
it
slide.
was yeah, so but Fager never tried it. I think he realized it probably would have been a dirty slider.
Disaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it rubbered with like 10 to go, but I wasn't too upset because they brought out the tractors right after that, and it was totally fine for the EDC makeup feature, which Mike Harrison kind of dominated. Ledford closed in and had a shot with like 5 to go, and then I think on white flag he clipped the backstretch wall and lost his momentum, and Harrison was safe from then. But I was impressed. It rubbered and then 20 minutes, and they had it back no rubber for a 40 lap feature. Because I've seen
Yeah.
tracks like rework rubber and it just rubbers again 10 laps
Yeah.
later, but it made it a whole 40 lapper after that. It was perfect. So there was
Those
some
guys
good
know what
heat
they're
races
doing
and
out
stuff too.
there.
Yeah, I love that track. Heat races were good, and late model heat races are sometimes stinkers, but they were all
Mhm.
pretty good. Yeah, it was great, and they were done by 10:40. I'll take that on a Saturday with a track that qualifies everything. You would have been upset. You need a late night to get your money's worth.
Oh, that's pitchforks in Wisconsin. That's 10 minutes overtime.
And then after that, I checked out a new track, Spoon River. They were not done by 10:40, I'll tell you that. We'll get to that, but they had the Plowboy Nationals, which is 5K for mods and late models, and I thought there would have been more mods for sure because last year they had like 40. I think they had like 27. Um, Still a full field. At least if it wasn't like 15, that would have kind of sucked. And then like 24 late models. That I expected to drop with Eldora coming up, and it's 5K. In late model world, 5K is nothing. So, um, who won? Falloway won the mod feature again, 15K
Yeah.
weekend. And this is the second year in a row now he's won both of those races, like the Labor Day Fairbury and Spoon River race. He won them both of those last year, won it this year. And he
And
was
isn't this also the second time that you've been at one or both of those shows?
Yeah, last year I was at the Fairbury one that he won.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, he's got to keep showing up that weekend. Apparently, it's a
Yeah. It's beneficial to Colt Falloway if you do that.
um he was unchallenged for most of the race, but early on it was so Trevor Neville was leading and then broke like while under green and he pulled off and then I think Blake Brown is his name. It's a Kentucky guy, number 99. He
That
was
sounds
ch-
correct.
he
Yeah.
was challenging Falloway for a bit and then Falloway kind of pulled away and was pretty much safe from there. No point did I think he was going to get past. So and then after that, it was the late model feature, and I was rooting for Shannon Babb. He got the lead from early on. I think he got by Winger, if I remember right, and I thought he was going to win, and then Fager snuck up on him with like 10 to go and drove past him, and then Unzicker got by too, and so Babb took third. But I was rooting for a Shannon Babb win. I don't. I've seen him win. I saw him win last year at Fairbury and during the Labor Day, so I thought maybe it could have been good luck for him. Nope, not good luck.
Only
Um,
goes so far sometimes.
yeah, only Um, then it was the sprint cars. Actually, the sprint cars had the best racing. I know we're not a big sprint car show, but at Spoon River, they were right on the edge, like all night long. Terry McCarl, who I know
Yeah.
you've heard of, he showed up there
Oh,
and
of
won.
course. Yeah.
So that was
Was
pretty
it
cool.
360s or 410s? Just doesn't really
360s.
matter, Curious.
It was the
Pretty cool.
Sprint Invaders series, which is more
Okay.
of like an Iowa thing. But like, yeah, Terry McCarl, Tasker Phillips, who runs Knoxville, he was there. He was the
Yeah.
points leader going into it. But yeah, McCarl got by the leader on a restart with like been 5 to go and drove by and was safe from there. And then after those three races, it got rough. The B mods, the UMP B mods they're something special. They 45-minute feature for a 30 lap feature was not ideal. It
It got
was
rowdy. It got rowdy.
I remember me and my friend Kyle who I was with, we were discussing when they were going to get done and I think we said 12:45 races went like till 1 a.m. It was and this was at like 10 o'clock we guessed this. We were like, oh, we're giving them basically 3 hours and they still went past it. But yeah, 45-minute B mod feature. Alan Weiser won 3K, so you heard of him, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
then the Hornets came out, and I had high hopes for them. I was like, they're not going to wreck as much because they can't. It's harder for a Hornet to spin out, and they had close to a 30-minute feature too. So
No.
I stayed though. I wasn't leaving.
I know. At any point were you like questioning if you wanted to wait it out, or were you just like, I'm gonna
If the
live
B
through it to tell the
mods
story?
if the B mods were last, I think I would have left because I wanted to see
Fair,
the Hornet, and the Hornets are faster than the
fair.
ones by us. They got I don't know if they're as fast as the ones in like Alabama and stuff, but they were definitely quicker than the ones like WISSOTA and IMCA ones.
Yeah.
And Kenny Butterfield won that. Don't know who he is, but he won 2 grand. So shout out to Kenny.
Fair play.
But yeah,
Two
they
grants for Hornets is
pretty good.
insane.
Yeah, pretty. But yeah, they wrecked a bit more than I was hoping. I think they got done at
Yeah.
1, and we had like an hour drive back to the hotel. We were gonna leave at like 7 or 8, and then we were like, all right, maybe we're leaving at 9 a.m. instead. We
Yeah.
changed our plans on that. I never tried the spoon burger, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that or not last time. I thought it's like
You
a
did.
popular. I never did it. Was not hungry, and yeah, I don't know, I heard some bad reviews while I was down there. So
You were already skeptical with the loose meat sandwichness of the whole thing, and then the poor reviews didn't do anything to
yeah,
help you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we ate pizza before we left, and we had some left at the hotel. I had food back at the hotel. It was fine.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Fair enough.
but yeah, that
Maybe
was
next time.
yeah, maybe maybe next time. And it was $8, too out of my price range.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Better be a lot of loose meat.
Yeah, I would basically a double cheeseburger. It's gotta be.
Right, yeah. But right on. Well, that sounded like a heck of a weekend.
Yeah,
And no car troubles.
no car
So
troubles.
another win. Did you drive?
I did. I did all the driving.
Ah, right on. So after you just had to do a little maintenance early in the season. That was all.
Yep,
Just
I
get her lined
did
out and then
I did just get my oil changed today. I picked it up. Be prepared. So I don't know. I won't have to worry about that for my upcoming trips either. So
smart to do that. You got a lot of driving in the future here, buddy. So smart to do that. We'll get there in a minute for sure, but right on. Well, with all of that, we didn't have a ton of time to watch racing. That's the theme. Like if we're,
nope.
we are busy fellas. Carter racing and me racing some and dadding up and all kinds of other stuff. So, but anyway, we did. So I thought this was kind of cool. So, we got the small little Discord server. I think we're up to like 6 or 7 people now, um, but, and by the way, if anyone wants to join, just like reach out to us. We're not trying to hide it. We're just we can't imagine there's that many people that want to hang out in there. But if you want to, it's small. We chat mostly racing and other goofy stuff. Let us know. Privately is fine. You send us a message to one of the pages. We'll get you there. But anyway, so most of us had the opportunity to watch the XR Rampage, and so we were all kind of in the Discord chatting about it at the same time. And I just thought that was really cool, made for like a little extra added layer. We couldn't be with each other and watching racing with your buddies, but it was like the next best thing.
Yeah, and
You
usually
know?
that only happens in the winter when everyone is home.
Right.
Not often middle of summer where we all talking about the same race.
Right.
I guess
So
end of summer now, but yeah,
yeah, end of summer. But I mean, it helped that it was on like what was that, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that.
Tuesday,
I don't remember.
Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. So that helped, obviously. But anyway, burying the lead a ton here. So long story short, there's XR Rampage, 100K to win stock cars, and Dallin Murdy pretty much whooped ass and won 100K. So, you can see why should have really been more forthcoming with the stickers. But anyway, so Dallin Murdy won a 100,000. That was at what was
Sports Park Raceway.
Sounds like a made up name, like an AI racetrack or something. I'm not trying to put him down.
It's one
That's
of the
kind of what it feels like,
it's one of the
right?
fake racetracks in like the World of Outlaw game or something. That's what it seems
Right,
like.
right. But it turns out it's a real racetrack, and they just put down a 100K race. So, but yeah, Dallin Murdy won over Ryan Gustin. I think it was more or less a race between those two for all 100 laps, and that was until Murdy got around Gustin, really. And then I felt like my impression was Murdy kind of, once he took the lead, it was never really in doubt. You
Yeah,
feel the same way?
yeah, it was kind of just follow each other around the top. It was
Yeah.
would have been tough to pass without chucking a huge slide job. That was really going to be the only way.
Yeah, pretty much. And they and I think Ricky Thornton at one point challenged for a podium spot and faded back. That was kind of interesting. Like he seemed to be. There were some comers and goers down. Like Damon Murdy at one point was up into third and then somehow faded way back. So like further in the pack, there were some movers and shakers, but up front, it was just a story of those two. And like you said, yeah, it was kind of like you said about rubbering on the top. That's what we got on that race. Is everyone hammer the top, and if you
Yeah.
get close enough, you try to
So
throw a slider.
so
And
it wasn't rubbered,
they
it was
get
just
sick.
hammer down instead up there.
It's just absolutely hammer down around the top for sure. So, but congratulations to Down. That was also a factor in why I went to Deer Creek. I was kind of like, I get to go see 100K winner. So we watched that, and then I paid attention a little bit to the Hillbilly 100. Did you catch much any of it?
My only thing I saw of it was MRP results. That's all I got of
Okay.
it.
More or less, and I got a couple highlights. But Alberson won again on a half mile, so he picked up the win on Friday.
I
He
think
seems to be
Lernerville's a
pretty.
4/10, by the way.
I saw somewhere someone said it was anyway. It's a big track, and he's good on big tracks. But so he picked up the win on Friday. That was 10,000, and then on Saturday, RTJ won the big Hillbilly 100 feature for 30,000. Another incident involving JD. So
What
he seems
happened
to be
there?
collecting enemies.
What did they do? Slam into each other?
uh Yeah, kind of. They were running two separate lines, so it wasn't really a slide jump gone wrong. They're just running two separate lines, uh, Thorne on the bottom, JD on the top,
Oh, did he just go up into him
and
on
down
the
the back
straightaway?
stretch. He
Yeah.
kind of and knocked him off the track a little bit. JD was able to drive back on and keep his position, but yeah, and so another incident. And we're going to Eldora, so he's going to get his get back now, but
JD will have
but
to wreck Pierce and RTJ now this weekend.
yeah. Yeah, he's got quite the shit list going. No, it is an interesting storyline. Cade Dillard kind of blew the top off of it when he monster trucked Alverson, but now it's the week after week. There's always two guys getting into it and someone being pissed, and so it's just. I guess it's interesting to talk about. But anyway, another thing that I think's probably more interesting to talk about is so we had the Hillbilly 100 at Lernerville. And then I guess like 2 hours up the road on Friday at Bedford, they had another 35 late models racing for 12 grand. So Mason Ziegler picked up 12 grand win there with something called the Fall Clash.
Yep.
So I guess this is I'm
This
assuming a fall series.
yeah, I thought it was just like the name of a race until you told me it was a
Me
series
too.
because they have
Yeah.
like 8 or so races throughout the fall pretty much.
Yeah. And they all seem to be like 10K or more to win. And they're all, I think, for the most part, on the Eastern Seaboard, like
Yeah,
New
they're
Jersey,
all
did you say Maryland
Maryland,
and New
PA.
York? Yeah, PA?
They
Yeah.
go to Action Track USA, which is like micros pretty much. They run like big blocks. Have ran there before. But it's
Okay.
a small little racetrack, so I don't know if that's on Flow. I don't think it is, but if it is, that definitely catches my attention because that's a small racetrack.
Okay. Right on. Well, they're putting on some big races. So interesting find in doing our research. So but then also so that was on Friday competing with Lernerville. And then on Sunday, Tyler County, which I think we did the math was something like 2.5 hours from
Something
give
like
or
that.
take
Yeah.
from Lernerville. They had 20K to win supers for what you said, and I kind of agree with you. The real hillbilly
Yeah.
100. Yeah, they called it the Country Roads 100 or something. But anyway, Hudson O'Neill won 20 grand there in the Rumley 6. And then I don't know the distance on this one, but I found it interesting. Sealands Grove also had 10,000 to win supers on Sunday, and Ross Robinson, sort of a name from years past, picked up his career best victory too. So
Oh, really?
10K
I
to
didn't know
win.
that.
Yeah, that was his highest payday there. So kind of neat. The PA scene
Very
is
busy on
hot
Labor
right
Day.
now.
Yeah, Labor Day
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah. So I think I saw a note somewhere like between Bedford and Lernerville, there was 80 super late models within 2 hours of each other, which is, I mean, admirable. You'd think,
I
who the
don't
hell
think there's
schedules that? Well, it
I don't
worked out.
there's not even 80 in Wisconsin.
Right.
Probably Minnesota either.
I'm definitely not, I don't think. So, just thought that was an interesting series of events out there. They were able to put on a bunch of big paying shows and they got good car counts across the board. So good for all of them. But so I did mention last week I was potentially going to go watch the WISSOTA Challenge Series. I didn't, but they did have a pretty big race weekend, and they're coming up on finishing out their season here real soon in a tight race. So I want to mention it. But we had the Twin 25s to start off their long Labor Day swing, and we saw Dave Moss win the first, and then a name I had mentioned last week, but Billy Kendall won the second, and then Ashley Anderson picked up the win Thursday at Proctor. Friday at Grand Rapids, the show I was supposed to be at. Dave Moss won that. And then Saturday, Sunday, they were at Hibbing. And we saw Kevin Eater pick up his very first Challenge Series win. So that was kind of neat. And then Kyle Peterlin won on Sunday. So quite a bit of different names. They definitely were, for all those cars up there, no one dominated. I think Dave Moss was the only name that I read off twice. So there was a lot of different winners. So kind of cool when you have a series come out and they're able to chop it up and see a bunch of different guys win instead of like the same two all the
Yeah.
time. So that's kind of nice. So I know some of these series are coming close to an end, and WISSOTA Challenge Series is one of them that ends next week, actually. So not
Yep.
this coming weekend, but the week following. At a show you'll be at, we'll probably get there in a minute, but they have two shows at the WISSOTA 100 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's going to close out their season. And right now, Dave Moss leads Shane Sabraski by all of 7 points.
Oh.
So and they do heat points too. So that's like this lead is basically not. It might as well be 0, you know. And then Jeff Provenzino is only 17 behind. So there's some tight racing coming down here to the end. So we may see that on that Wednesday feature at the WISSOTA 100. We may see the winner crowned in that race. So I just think that's kind of interesting.
I would love if they were at 0 going into the feature. Just whoever finishes higher wins.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be
I
sweet.
mean, you're gonna be there, right? So yeah. So and it could be, even if it's just like 2 or 4, where it really is just a spot or two, depending on where they are in the running order. Even that is still kind of cool. But yeah, I would love to be 0, right? Just like
0 would be
race
perfect.
off. Yep. Starting in the same row. I don't know. Put them at the back and
put
just
them both
whoever. Whoever gets the most far forward wins. I would dig that. But anyway, and then worth mentioning. So I've talked about Devin Fouquet a couple times. He's got the Rookie of the Year locked up. Now he's kind of had it locked up since the season started, but still all the same, my guy is a rookie and he's out here running the whole series. So I thought that was worth a mention. But yeah, he's got the Rookie of the Year locked up too. So and then the last and only thing that I paid attention to was the Heartland Modified Tour ran Saturday, Sunday at Lake Ozarks. I always thought that was a sprint car track, so I went and looked it up.
They did have sprint cars running there.
They sure did. It was like a sprint show that they were a part of.
Yeah.
But they again pulled in a healthy car count. They had 35 mods in attendance, so they are doing their part of keeping the USRA modifieds coming out. Saturday saw Trevor Hughes win, so that's kind of a cool dub. He's been out grinding on USMTS, and it's nice to see him pick up a win. And then on Sunday we had a series rookie, Shadron Turner, pick up the victory. But speaking of rookies, so I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Bobby Williams is running basically like a rookie in a modified, not just a rookie with Heartland, like more or
Yeah,
less a rookie
straight up
in a
rookie.
modified. Yep, and he's leading their points right now.
How many
He's
races do
their
they got
point.
left? Do you know?
So he's leading by 28 over Givens, and they've got 4 races left.
So it's not locked up or anything,
It's
but
not locked up. There's definitely it's kind of a comfortable. I don't want to say
yeah,
it's like insurmountable. It's not. That was more or less the margin of difference in
basically
between the
as
points
long as
they
he doesn't
earned
have
this
some
weekend.
DNFs, he should be
Yeah.
okay.
He should be okay, but he's gonna have to work for it, right? Like you can't have any DNFs or anything like that. And or if Cookie Monster reels off a couple of big wins or a couple big finishes, right? And he just finishes in the top
10th or
10
whatever.
instead of in the
Yeah.
top 5, yeah. So it's not locked up, but I think it's super cool that he's more or less a rookie in this thing and he's leading the points over. I mean, Brandon Givens has run USMTS for multiple years, so it's not like this dude's just knocking over tomato cans, right? Like he's racing with some good racers out here. So I thought that was worth a mention. And then the last thing, Wiener Nationals happened. Super cool event, all built around the Wiener Mobile. But Ryan Gustin showed up and he won himself a Wiener trophy. So he and Bobby both have Wiener trophies now.
And 10 grand with it, not just the
And 10
trophy.
grand. Yep, not just the trophy. Uh, but there were some definitely some interesting names there. The Gundakers and so forth were there as well. So solid field. And Dustin won 10 grand, so good for him. Um, but anyway, with that, that's pretty much the stuff we were paying attention to. You've got a hell of a schedule on deck, and I've got a decision to make. But let's have you go and run us down. One rundown this week, and then you're gonna have to break it to everybody that the shittier half is gonna stick around.
Yeah, I won't be here next week because I'll be out in Minnesota. Yeah, so
Yeah,
uh well, I'm leaving tomorrow and I'm stopping halfway at Josh's house tomorrow, or I guess Wednesday, the day this comes out, I'll be on the
yeah.
way.
Today, I'll see
Yeah.
you later today.
Stopping at Josh's house for halfway. But I'm going to River Cities Thursday through Saturday for the John Sites. I think it's Memorial. I
Yep,
believe it's, yeah. So I'm going there. 9200 to win for WISSOTA late models, or I don't know, is it WISSOTA or yeah, it's
it
WISSOTA
is.
late
It
models.
is.
Yep.
We sold a lot of miles. Yep.
But on Thursday it's the NLRA. They have their championship race. And do we know who's leading the points for that? Do you have that written down?
I do. I went
Perfect.
on a point spree. I was curious. So Dustin Strand is leading and has it locked up.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
coronation. Yep.
So yeah, so Thursday then just it's late models,
So,
street stocks, mods, and Midwest mods, I believe. I think that's what it is all 4 days.
yeah. Yep.
But then Friday, the format's a little different. I think the mods have a full show and the late models might, but then like two of the classes have heat races. It's kind of
So
weird, right?
the way I understand it is the mods have individual shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they're
Yep.
all standalone. And then I think late models have the NLRA show, and then the other classes have a 1 day show as well there. And then
Yeah, first
I'm
day's all
pretty
full show
sure,
for everybody.
yep. And then everybody else's 2 day show with exception of mods.
Oh, okay.
They are,
Okay.
I think we could have that wrong, but I think that's how I remember it.
So yeah, it'll be my first time there too. So obviously I
Yeah.
know it's a well-known track, especially because sprint cars are amazing there, but I'm sure late models will be just as good. So I'm looking
Yep.
forward to going there. First time in North Dakota as well. And then although I'm barely in North Dakota, I'm like just across the border.
But it does
It does
count. So
count,
it's
exactly.
yeah. So
Um,
real quick about that show, I think you were going to transition. I just want to mention some things that I thought were interesting. So there's like a boatload of memorials. So that NLRA show is the Howie Show Memorial. So that's kind of cool. And then on Friday, the mods race for 3 grand. Did you
oh,
know
okay.
this?
No, I
Yeah.
I knew I knew there was some memorial. I didn't know the payouts for the
Okay.
other classes.
Yep. So the mods are running for uh $3,092 on Friday, and that's the big Al Delaney Memorial. And then obviously the big show for the late models is the John Sites Memorial.
And
So
that's 92 laps as well, which is long
yep, that's
for
92 laps.
WISSOTA late models.
Yeah, heck yeah, it is. I wonder if they get a break. I doubt it, but
I'm
I'm
not sure.
curious.
I know
Get a lap down the line.
Last year this was the highest car count for like WISSOTA late for any show that had WISSOTA late models. It was this show, like more than the WISSOTA 100, more than the Red Clay
I
Classic and
believe it.
stuff. Yeah,
I
so
absolutely believe it. Yeah. Yeah, this is a big late model
yeah.
show. So there'll be a ton of cars there. And then with all like mods run for 1,000, 3,000. So there's like 5 grand plus 92 on each of those days. Um, so they run for a bunch of money. You know, Street Stocks Midwest mods, I think, run for a decent payout too. So like there's gonna be a lot of cars there, but
Oh yeah. I
it's gonna
like a
be
good
pretty
car count
awesome.
though. So
Heck yeah. No, I'm not warning you. I'm like kind of like jealous slash like I know you live for this stuff.
I
So
just let's just right now Thursday looks questionable for rain. Hopefully it holds off. The
yeah,
other 2 days look
hopefully.
pretty good, so I'd like to at least get two of them in, at least one, so I can say I've been there and seen a race there. Um, then Sunday, it sounds like I'll be going to Madison to help out with the stream there, assuming nothing changes. I was told plans could change, but it sounds like I'll be at Madison Speedway Sunday, the one in Minnesota, not in Wisconsin. Never been there either. I for some reason thought it was a quarter mile. I learned it's a 3/8 mile, so that was news to me.
You informed me of that. I also for some reason thought it was a quarter mile. So
According to my race pass, it's a 3/8. When I turned it on, I think they were racing Monday. I turned it on for a bit to see it, and yeah, definitely not a quarter mile. Uh,
okay.
so yeah, that'll be interesting. I think it's just it's a fair race. So
Oh no.
yeah, but I can't really mess up my parking spot or anything because I've never been there. I don't know. I don't know where the
True,
good
true.
parking is, anyways.
And I don't even think you're driving.
Not even
So
the one
even
driving to
better.
it. So then, so yeah, that'll be cool. Just a little
Uh,
kind of like a weekly show. It's not a weekly show, but it's basically what it is.
yeah.
Just a little in between the river cities, and then Tuesday I'll be at I-94 for the WISSOTA 100. All 5 days. Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah, 5 days.
Yeah.
I think Tuesday's practice, and then challenge series runs, and then Wednesday challenge series races, and then the street stocks, mods, Midwest mods, and super stocks all start their like preliminary stuff
Yeah, because
for
they have like
Saturday.
lock-ins each day.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
like a
then the
certain
late
amount of
models
lock each week.
start their prelim stuff on Thursday.
Yep.
And then yeah, they run like heats and then qualifying features pretty much every day up until Saturday. Then it's like a B main and a feature for every class. And I'm sure some
Yeah.
extra stuff in
Pageantry.
between. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of pageantry and track work.
Yeah.
It is so I'll say this. It is an interesting sight to see. All the Down Shaw has a lot of interesting implements down there, and when they all hit the track at one time, it's kind of neato. I remember last year was my first year going, and like by the time it was all said and done, there's like 5 track packers and like a bunch of different other stuff, and I was
Basically like
just
Boone, pretty much it sounds like.
yeah,
Boone's the
yeah.
same way. They got like a million tractors. They bring out a bunch of school buses. They got all the equipment. They got a jet dryer at Boone if needed. Although off topic, but Saturday or Sunday at Boone. I don't know if you saw any pictures, but Boone is pretty good at the rain won't really affect them, especially during Super Nationals. It rained
Mhm.
a ton there. Like pits, I saw videos of the pits and it was flooded. People were like diving into the water, sliding down the track because it was just pretty
Oh
much flooded.
man.
Yeah, it was. They were racing the next day though. They running at I think 1 o'clock the next day. So, but
Well, I had to make up for lost time.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the WISSOTA 100 though. The WISSOTA 100 is a bucket list event. All the like sanctions top races, so Super Nationals, WISSOTA 100, and then USRA Nationals are all like bucket list. Doesn't matter the track. Just want to say I've been there.
I want to say you've been to one. Hey, that's kind of cool. I dig that. Not on my list, but some like you saying it, I'm like, hey, I like that idea. I might crib it. But yeah. So uh I will be there on that Sunday, that pageant. You know I wasn't gonna miss all
Sunday,
that pumping.
you'll be the only one there.
Saturday. I miss I sometimes watch these back and I go, my brain's running 100 miles a minute, and I will just say a word and think I said the one I wanted and just keep on blowing by. But I will be there on that Saturday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Um I'll be there nice and early, so I'll have plenty of
Yeah,
time.
we'll
I
probably
might
run
beat
into you.
you to the track. Yeah, I might beat you there. So
I don't know.
I'll
We might be there real early. I'm not sure how early we're all planning to just get there for the stream, but
Yeah. No, I can't imagine you'd be there that early. Are you doing any of the like between two turns stuff or any of that? Or
Like
you've
infield, you
been
mean? Like infield
no,
camera? Or what do you
no,
mean?
like the like so last year Kyle Hall was
Oh,
doing
I know
the
what you're
like
talking about.
between
I have
yeah.
no idea what I'm doing there. It's pretty much
No?
show up and I'll
Okay.
find out. I'm doing something, I'm
Ooh, take
guessing
a
either
top
infield or like
secret.
one of the top cameras, but I might do, yeah, I might be doing other stuff.
Well, that's like during the day stuff, so
Yeah, it's
like,
like
they might
interviews,
keep you
right?
busy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
might be,
mean,
yeah. I'm not sure.
yeah.
I'll
Might be interesting.
still a week
I mean,
away.
yeah, it was one of those things that I really enjoyed about WISSOTA 100 week from afar last year was the like between two turns bit. It's like a play off the Zach Galifianakis. I probably had an extra K or two in there. But his between two ferns. Does any of this resonate with you, or am I talking to no?
I know the interview stuff you're talking about. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about right now though.
Okay.
This
Okay. Fair
what
enough.
you're
But
referencing.
yeah, so it's like a satirical comedy segment, and so I thought they were really
Oh,
good.
was Barack Obama on that?
I think once, yes.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Yes,
and it's
yes,
between two ferns. There's a
yes,
fern on each side. Yeah.
yes. I know what you're
Yeah, so
talking about.
then, yeah, so then this one's called Between Two Turns. Get it? LOL. So, but yeah, I did really like them. They're dang funny, and it looks like they're working on more stuff, including Dennis Zek this year. So that's a net positive. That should any man who will post pinup shots to try to get into a calendar is someone you sure will do something for entertainment. So could be interesting. So, but anyway,
I
looking
have
forward to it.
I have held the camera for the WISSOTA Late Model Challenge Series pre-race show, so who knows? Maybe I will be doing interview stuff.
Oh, so they know you can handle it.
Did it one time. Although that was the only Challenge Series race I've been at, so I'm 1 for 1.
All right. Were you working that one, or did they just see you in the
Yeah,
crowd and were like, "Hey,
no,
hold this
I
camera"?
was work I was work I was supposed to be infield that night, and then it poured, and we got locked inside the booth at Red Cedar because the tornado sirens were going
Wow.
off. Yeah, it was. We saw no racing that night, but I did the pre-show.
Made sure to earn my paycheck. Anyway, right on. Well, we're gonna miss you next week. I don't have a solid plan, even though I want everyone to understand Carter gives me plenty of notice. I just don't act on it in a reasonable amount of time, so I'm always scrambling. So we will chef something up next week, and you and I will find out together what it's gonna look like. So that's what we got going next week.
This come Tuesday the WISSOTA 100, we can do a live show.
I should. I
Although
should.
it'd just be practice in one class, so I don't know if you want to drive that far for that.
I mean, it's better than me spending 2.5 hours trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for my show for a show. Like, if we're talking about uses of time,
Although we'd have to do it either early or super late. Can't do it during the
e-
races.
either one's fine. We'll figure it out. Let's just do it during the race. We have audio issues sometimes anyway. What's the difference? Anyway, well, so this weekend though, this upcoming weekend, I'm probably going to go racing, and I'm faced with another conundrum. So this week we're pitting the MPH Invitational at Granite City versus the Northern Nationals at Gondik Law. And so I'm really not sure which one I want to go to. There is the slightly problematic or additional factor that I've not been to Gondik yet this year, and I try to go every year. So
You're running out of time. Is this their last weekend?
I didn't double check, but I feel like it's one of the last ones, if not the last one. So time's not on my side in either event, though. I can promise you that. They might have one more FYE show, but
I'm looking for it. They used to have one in
yeah,
October, but they stopped doing that. I
yeah.
think 'cause it would snow during.
Because it would snow out, right? So
This is your
early September.
last weekend, so
Yeah.
now or never.
So and they also have the more interesting slate of cars. They've got late models, mods, Midwest mods, street stocks, the like that. But the MPH Invitational is also it's like a prelude to the WISSOTA 100. So
Pretty
this
much.
is it's the Hornets, Pure Stocks, and Mod 4's like crowning event, and it's right up the road to the second home track at Granite City. It's an hour, so my drive's closer. I got an hour versus 2 hours. Not that either is like wildly unmanageable, but something to be said about that. And kind of like you said about like the WISSOTA 100 thing, like MPH Invitational has some draw because it is like the crowning event for those three
Basically
classes.
is the WISSOTA 100 for them three.
Yeah,
Just a different
yeah,
name.
yeah, and like a slightly modified format, but really it's hey, everybody in these classes come here and let's settle it. Also, legitimately, the opportunity to see Bobby Arnaz and Anthony Jensen whale it out one more time. This time for like the biggest prize of them all. Like, it has its own draw, right? Like these guys have been throwing down quite a bit this year, and so I know I'm going to get a hell of a Hornet race is basically what I'm saying. And so interesting fact real quick. So they've only run this 2 other times and Jenna Hageman has won both. She has not raced at all this year with the exception of 2 weekends ago at Granite City in a Hornet.
Did she win?
Now she didn't. She came in third, but that's
Oh,
good to knock the rust
third
off,
for
right?
third in your
Yeah.
first race.
It makes a guy wonder if she's not coming out to maybe defend it. And she was track champion at Granite last year too, in the Hornets. So like, throw her in the mix.
It's
Could
also
be a
the
hell.
it's also the first year it's at Granite. It was at Bemidji the
Yeah,
last 2 years before.
it
So
was. It was. So I don't know. As you can see, I'm like really arguing myself to go to Granite. So that's probably the more likely of the two. But Gondik is a wild card. The issue I'm having with Gondik is that everyone's going to be at the sites.
oh yeah.
So, Gondik, they have the more northern contingent, the Wisconsin side. Like a lot of those guys may just hang out there and go race there. They do also have an interesting thing going on. So you and I talked off air about the showdown in Souptown. They're doing something like that on Saturday too, except for just with the Canadian drivers. And they're doing mods, Midwest mods, and super stocks all on the track at the same
Oh, I
time
didn't know
racing.
that.
And just the Canadians. Just the Canadians. I think what they call it here. The Canadian Clash race.
Hey, I didn't know about this at all. I knew about
Yeah.
the Thursday thing where it's Midwest mods versus super stocks. I
Yeah.
didn't know about
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Canadian thing.
So I'm torn, Carter. I guess we'll find out. You'll find out when I see you next week, but everyone else will find out next week's episode. I don't know where. Legitimately don't know which I'm going to. I'm just probably going to go to one of them. I might not go at any racing because paralysis by analysis. Too many options. You just shut down. But like. But if I do go, it's going to be one of these two places. I'm legitimately unsure which one. So, but other than that, I will be keeping an eye on it. And I'm sure despite you being super busy, you'll also a little bit catch up on the World 100
Oh yeah,
coming up this
I'll know
weekend.
who the
Yeah.
winner is, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Flo post a ton of content from it, so I'll
Yeah.
see the major stuff.
Heck yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to that. It's always a big event. I think I saw they've already got 79 entries so far. So we're probably gonna get over 80, might get closer to 90 all
They had
told.
60
So
on Sunday
they
for
did have
I think it's
60
the
on
Johnny
Sunday.
Appleseed, I believe is the
Baltez
name.
Classic.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
something
a
like that.
Baltez Classic. Yep. Yeah. So Ricky Thornton and Kyle Bronson won those twin features at that too. Just throwing it out there. They ran that. Those guys won. The format is always a little interesting, but so they've got AB qualifying, but they draw the day of. So like you just figure out your AB the day of. When you draw in, you just like, oh, I'm an A or I'm a B. So they draw on both days, AB qualifying, and then they everyone qualifies in 6 invert for the shootouts. They're calling them shootouts because they're
Oh,
12 laps, not 8.
I like this. I like the 6 invert though.
Yeah, so 6 invert, and then from that, so they've got 6 total. 8, the top 8, and all 6 of them will transfer into an AB qualifier or AB feature. So they've got twin features both nights, on Thursday, Friday, and then interestingly enough, no B mains. You either make it in or you don't, or you get one of the. They have like provisionals for 2 fastest qualifiers, so you
Oh,
don't make it or something. But either you make it in or you don't. There are no Bs on Thursday and Friday. But anyway, and then Saturday is obviously Bs and the 100 lap
yeah.
feature. So
And there's been a
oh,
ton of wraps that have come out too for the World
there
100.
has been. I
Pierce, I know
just
you
saw.
loved Pierce.
I did. You showed me that. I thought
It's-
that was killer. I immediately showed it to Sherry too.
I like it
I
too.
tagged her in the Discord. Yeah, I liked it. It's hot pink. Give me a break. You knew I was gonna be a fan. So I've mentioned it a time or two. Sherry's like a hex on cars. Whatever car she likes, like, will break. And so she sees it, and one of the first things she says to me, she goes, "Oh, good, maybe a pink car that won't break." She always like picks the pink car, and then they get into some shit. So, I thought that was funny. But yeah, I like that. Moran's was very understated, but I did really like just like the
It's
purple
just
numbers
simple,
with
yeah.
with the like green outline. I thought it looked good. I thought it looked real good. Um, have you seen any? Oh, what was that other one you showed
Shirley's
us?
Tim McCready, I think is what
Oh, yeah, that's
throwback
like
to his
super
dad.
old school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
really
that
like
one.
that one. Yeah, yeah.
Brian
So
Shirley's is interesting too. Like the whole number font is different. It's in the Discord if you want to look
is
at it
it?
right now. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
Yeah, it's like way different than
oh, that
normal.
is way different. It kind of has like a hand painted vibe to the number a little bit. I don't know if the rest of the wrap looks hand painted, but I do like the instead
There's
of
a lot
the
going on with it, but
there
I don't hate
is,
it either.
right? And I like how he just swapped out the flow yellow that he has for gold. Right? Like otherwise the
Oh yeah.
scheme's kind of mostly his colors, just gold and it looks good. It looks really good. Not to say it's the same style scheme, it's just like same mostly color scheme, but with that gold. I like it.
I want to see I don't think it's posted yet, but Carson Ferguson, I saw like a teaser
A
of
teaser?
his and
Yeah.
his looked like it could be interesting, but I don't believe they posted it yet. Oh,
Yeah.
I lied. They did.
They just did.
It's on
Uh-oh.
we're gonna do a live reaction. It's on Paler Motorsports Facebook. It's supposed to be like a heavy piece of machinery. Like you'd see it's
Oh
interesting.
yeah. Oh, okay. They did something with a big sponsor. I like that. Sponsor out. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like a bulldozer with a
Yeah.
backhoe, whatever those things are called. I have a kid that probably knows, but I don't.
Oh, his suit too. His suit is he's dressed up like a construction worker.
Yep.
The first picture. Yeah, if you want to see it, it's on Paler Motorsports Facebook. I'm sure you'll probably
Okay.
see it by the time this episode's out, though.
Yeah. As you can imagine, Carter, I like that it's all like a theme.
Yeah,
I don't know that I love the rap, but I do
I don't.
appreciate a
Yeah,
good theme.
I. That's not what I was expecting when I saw
Yeah,
just the teaser.
agreed, agreed. I didn't see that one coming either, but I mean, hat tip to Carson. He's out here wearing a construction worker fire suit. I can appreciate it. So, heck yeah. I'm actually there's one storyline I wanted to ask you about. So, kind of cold firing this at you. But Chris Madden is going to be the storyline this week going into it. He's had a couple decent, good runs lately in this car that he started running this summer. And he's been super snake bitten. Do you think this is the year that Chris Madden gets it done? Yes or no? And why if you have one? Okay, if you don't.
No, because Jonathan Davenport is there.
Right? I mean, you that's the other storyline. How much does Davenport win by? So, but yeah, no, I'm so pulling for him. This would be kind of cool, right? He just sold all of his stuff. He just started driving for someone else. They kind of lightning in a bottle, and that's just the changeup he needs to finally get over the hump at Eldora. That'd be kind of cool. In other news, Jonathan Davenport wins by 10 seconds. Yeah. Well, I think it'll really come down to probably JD and Bobby. I think everyone's kind of gearing
Probably.
up for that fight.
There'll be a mix
Um,
of other guys that will probably be in the race. Like Moran's usually up there.
yeah.
McDowell is always making a
Always
charge at
steady.
some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Always coming
Ricky's
on
always
late.
kind of not struggled in like the 100 lappers, it seems. He wins at Eldora. He'll win
Right.
prelims. He won
Yeah, he just
Sunday.
won
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it would be interesting too if he finally wins the one of the two big ones. I guess three big ones now at Eldora.
Yeah, with the Dirt Track World Championship too. Yeah. Yeah, that's another good storyline. I think some of like our guys or underdogs that I want to keep tabs on, like Dylan Thornton is back in the DRT car again.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw him win.
I
So,
saw his wrap's a bit different. There's some orange in there if I remember right. It's
okay.
not the blue
Okay.
car from last time.
Yeah, they changed it up just a little bit. Cool, cool. And then the other one that I'm interested in, so Kyle Strickler is gonna be there in the Austin Kirkpatrick AK race cars. So obviously I'm a big Strickler guy. But anyway, so I'm curious about that. And then interestingly enough, they have this gentleman by the name of Jackson Lovelady, and he's from New Zealand.
Oh,
And he's going to be there. I saw him on the pre-entry, so I'm going to keep an eye on that one too. We've got a New Zealander giving it a try. So, Kirkpatrick was, I mean, he mentioned use of AI in designing this chassis, and now he's got a New Zealander running it at Eldora. So it should be interesting to see what happens. But that's more or less what I think I'm going to be watching. Then we've still got this. I don't want to say still got the Super Nats. We just that we talked about it last week, but really it just started on Sunday. But we've got the
uh,
Super Nats going.
well, technically it started on Monday, like the actual
Monday, that's
Supernats.
right. Yep, I'm
Prelude was
sorry.
Saturday, Sunday, and then
Yeah.
um, I guess they do kind of start Saturday because the Mod Light portion Saturday, Sunday. It got pushed to Monday
Yep.
because of that rain out. And John Padilla, is that what we agreed on? Padilla?
Padilla. We agreed on Padilla, but potentially Padilla, but we're going with Padilla.
He won the Mod Light portion, and then Monday is when you have the late model portion as well. I think they had like 39, which is a good car count, except
That's
for when you look at
solid.
every other class has
Yeah.
a crazy number. But Jesse Sabine won that. I didn't realize he may have been running one all year. I didn't realize Cody Thompson was running a late model. He was
I feel like that was a newer development.
okay, yeah. Because I was like, oh, interesting. Did not know he was running one. But
I
yeah,
swear I saw that last week or the week before too. So like just kind of verifying with you, like it feels like it's a new thing. So
and then
but
as of recording today, Tuesday, the four cylinders are running their portion, and they did not run their feature yet. So
I haven't
we
run
will
it
not
yet.
know who wins. But then, yeah, this is the last day. Not last day. Hobby Stocks and Sport Mods are running today, Tuesday, and then mods and stock cars, I believe, join with them Wednesday, and then it's just mod stock cars through Saturday, and then the
Okay.
guys locked in will come back on Saturday, and the sport mods and hobby stocks they'll come back and run
Okay.
their big
And run
dance
their big
feature.
feature. Okay. Heck yeah. Yeah. I would definitely want to get to that whole thing at least once, but it may be that I could just swing a Saturday the first time, but I bet that Saturday's banging, dude.
Yeah, the
I
whole
mean,
thing. If that's a ton of race, and they started at 1 o'clock, and they're still running right now, and it's not because they're slow. They just have. Let's see,
there's just
today they
that
have
many cars.
460 cars signed in today. And they also run like mods and stock cars run hot laps today. It's kind of like their
Yep.
practice. They just toss it in
Yep.
there. So
Yep.
that yeah, they got uh 9 races left for the day. So
Okay. And just for reference, we're at about 10:15 in the
yeah, it's
evening right
10:15
now.
right now.
Yeah. So anyway, but well, I'm definitely gonna keep keeping an eye on that. The mods and stock cars obviously are the headliners for me.
Yeah, they got the
And
most entries too. Stock cars actually led this year, but yeah, they're the two main classes.
yeah, yeah. So That'll be cool. And I'm fingers crossing we get a flow simulcast again. We probably won't, but I'm
If we
hopeful.
do, it
I would
happened when they did it 2 years ago. They did it on Wednesday, and Wednesday's
I
the
would
day I
definitely check in.
Wednesday's the day I always buy because you get the most racing. So, but
Noted.
I'll
So
be
today,
if
when this episode comes out, is
yeah,
be on both.
if they do it, we'll be watching it at your house.
Yeah, for sure. Right on. But anyway, with that, Carter, I think that's everything we wanted to cover, and definitely a lot more. And that means it's time for.
The one for the road, and mine is a 10,000 to win mod race that got postponed from June. Is that right?
I think it was in
Or was
June.
it
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend? Maybe I don't remember. But it was
Tough to
mods
say.
gone wild at I-55. 10,000 to win for A mods, and then 5,000 for B mods, and then they also have a 2,000 to win qualifier, which is actually pretty good for a qualifier. Some of those pay like nothing. It's just congrats, you're locked in. Uh,
Yeah.
and then 500, 1,000 for the B mods on Friday. But it's qualifying Thursday, like as in just time to qualifying Thursday and practice, and then Friday it's like heats and the qualifier features, and then
hmm
Saturday it's B mains and features.
And it features.
And they
Looks
have
like they're contemplating some C's too. So C's,
oh,
B's, and then yeah.
and what is it? Is it 90 mods or 90 B mods pre-registered? One of the
I think
two. One of the two had
91 B
91,
mods,
and then the other had
91 B
60,
mods,
right?
60. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there was the A mods were pretty much all the UMP guys you'd expect. Fallaway, Mike Harrison, Kenny Wallace is on there, Ken Schrader's
Kenny
on there,
Wallace, Ken Schrader, yeah.
Michael Long.
Well, like we're drawing a blank all of a sudden, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all the guys you'd expect
It's
in that
literally
region.
Chase Holland, Trent Young, like a bunch of guys you talked about earlier as well too. So like the hitters are there. Maybe not all of them, but I think for the most part, all of them will be there. And worth noting on Racing Dirt.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
I
right.
think that's actually super cool. You know, Racing Dirt has made their name, USMTS, USRA, but I think it's really cool that they're picking up a big UMP show at P Flea of all places. Like it's kind of a well-known track, so I think that's good for them, good for mods, good for me. I have race access to Racing Dirt, so I
Bad for
win in
me.
that one too. Yeah. To be fair, you'll be working,
Yeah, I
but
would.
yeah,
I probably if it
yeah,
was on Flow, I probably won't be watching anyways. Unless they're
yeah,
running at 1 a.m. I'll tune in then.
right. But so I thought that was interesting. It to me, like as someone who like follows and watches like trends and how things are moving, and I'm just weird like that. Or I think I know something and I just make shit up. It could be conspiracy theories faked as trends, but anyway, I'm heartened to see that they're branching out and grabbing this big paying UMP show, because I think it bridges a gap there. It brings the USRA audience to these UMP guys, and then it also opens up the USRA audience to the UMP guys. Anyway, I'm repeating myself, but you get the point. That's how
Do you,
reciprocity works.
do you
But
think there's any chance there's an I-55 date on the USMTS schedule next year?
I have
There,
been contemplating this for a while.
it could be a
Um,
UMP versus USMTS because you got UMP in that area, and then you're in Missouri. I mean, you're just across the border from Illinois,
right.
but you got USRA guys nearby.
Yep. Yeah, I mean they do the same thing like up in my neck of the woods with WISSOTA, right? They let WISSOTA run. So, um, I think there's a chance. I mean, there's a chance USMTS potentially goes more towards like a run your sanction style thing. I think that's less likely, but it's one of those things that's been bouncing around in my head. We keep seeing more and more of those shows. It just makes you wonder. Or they say you can run with us your style, but you have to run our tires or something, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's where we draw the line. So maybe that's not a perfect world, but at least you don't have to change anything with your tires. You know, I could see that too. But anyway, it's a good question. Potentially, if not next year, assuming they cover this event next year as well, then for sure the year after that, I would say absolutely. I think this goes hand in hand with what we talked about last weekend, how they took that swing in Missouri and the car counts weren't
Oh
great,
yeah.
but they they were striking out in the area, and this ties to that. So
I mean, we've seen
maybe you're
UMP
on.
versus USRA mods before,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
know like it's not like there's a huge advantage. I mean, UMP kind of dominated this year, but didn't USRA win
The
last
year
year?
before, yeah, yeah.
So it can work. We just need the
It can
cars to
work.
show up for it.
Yeah, and you might could get more if it was easy. To your point, if they could just run their sanction, I think I'm starting over such a simple thing to say, but like, yeah, if it's just show up and run your stuff, then I think, yeah, they have a lot of opportunity to go to a lot new and interesting places too. They should try that in IMCA. Kidding, of course. The one place it won't fly.
We'll see. We got a lot of
But
good tracks, but
yeah, yeah,
that's
but
okay. We don't need another sanction to boost our car counts.
oh, shots fired. Well, when you can't go running with anyone else, you got to get enough of your friends to run together. I get it. But anyway, so for for mine, I do just want to kind of shout out something that I just came across today, but I think it's kind of neat and I think it's kind of interesting, and it sticks with a lot of the things we talk about. But anyway, bearing the lead again, as I want to do. I've noticed this gentleman. So he's on TikTok. Yeah,
TikTok.
I'm talk drunk. He's on TikTok. His user is at Joe, just Joe 95189. It's very nondescript. The more bigger name says Joe, and then in parentheses, Dirt Track 101. And that's what I'm getting to. So my guy, his first video starts out with, "I'm told TikTok is where we go to talk about the things we're hyper focused on." Well, I'm hyper focused on racing, so I'm here to talk about it. And then he's like, and it says something like, "Words make no sense." He's got this phrase that he says all the time. I haven't memorized it yet because I haven't seen a ton of them, but it fits for dirt track racing, right? Like, words are made up. They don't mean what you think they mean. And that works for dirt track racing. There's a lot of instances. But he's using humor, I think, to introduce people to dirt track racing. And I love it. Is where I'm getting with all this. I absolutely love it. He struck a chord with me. I thought he was pretty funny. So far I've made it. He's just breaking down classes and how we only have 3, and stocks, mods, and sprints covers every class. Bear with me, And they're like, "What about late models?" Well, but anyway, so I think it's interesting. I think it's good. It's a great way, again, to try to just draw more fans, draw more people. So maybe we'll put it in the description of this video or something, just so we can help point people that way. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was funny, and I love that it's trying to explain this thing that when you show up on day one it makes no sense, because you're like, that's not what that word's supposed to mean. And I agree with you. That happened to me more than once.
So he's basically like teaching people that have never seen dirt racing what it is. Is that
It's
okay?
kind of very introductory, yeah, like a welcome to dirt racing, and he's got way more than I've watched. I've only caught like the first 2 or 3, and I think he's into the teens now, so there's a
Oh,
lot more to it than I've even covered. But yeah, where I started was at the beginning, and it was very basic, and I thought it was great for an introduction. I really did. So, hopefully people can check it out. Refer other. I think most of the people watching this are just going to get a good chuckle out of it, and that's great too. But like, share it with people who might get more than just a good chuckle out of it too. I think that's what I'm hoping for. This is how we draw them to our side and get them to show up. We got to show them that that some people are funny, and we got to teach them what the heck they're doing, and then they'll want to show up. It's not as intimidating if you know a little bit. So I guess I think it's a net good. So I wanted to mention it. But with that, we're all done.
yep, that's all.
I think that was longer than we planned, but that means it was good, probably. Anyway, I'm like, whew, we've been going, but cut that out, Carter. Anyway, thanks for hanging with us, guys. I had a ton of fun. I hope you all did too. And I will catch you potentially next week. And Carter, well, I don't know. We'll see if we let you back.
Guess I might be free on Mondays now.
Please don't leave me. Anyway, we'll catch you all next week.
See ya.